All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about one of the biggest fights in boxing, or the biggest fight in boxing, coming up between Gervonta Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia, and one of the best fighters in the world, Shakur Stevenson, gives his 2 cents on the fight and what Ryan Garcia's words tell about what is going to take place. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we are going to talk about the Ryan Garcia, or the Gervonta Davis-Ryan Garcia fight, and some things that Shakur Stevenson observed about Ryan Garcia, and his thoughts on what Ryan Garcia has said about the fight. But before I get into that, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. If you are a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much for your continued support. Make sure y'all hit that like button, and thank you to everybody that supports in the video and the super thanks, which is a great way to sponsor videos by content creators that whose content you enjoy. So thank you to everybody that does that. Shout out to my guy, John Boy, always a big supporter of the channel. Matty Yole and my guy. Shout out to my Bison brother. You know who you are. Thank you very much for your continued support. But let's get into this, okay? Gervonta Davis is going to be fighting Ryan Garcia at 136 pounds. No belt is going to be on the line. And everybody in boxing seems like they're looking forward to it. One guy that was asked about it is one of the best fighters in that same division, and that is Shakur Stevenson. He's a former 126-pound fighter champion, former unified 130-pound champion, and he will be making his debut at 135 pounds very soon. And he's somebody that Gervonta Davis has said, or at least his camp had said, that they were looking forward to fight, and they really think is the biggest and the best challenge for Gervonta Davis at 135 pounds. Also, I should say that Shakur Stevenson is also an Olympic silver medalist. He fights with Top Rank. Just an excellent fighter. Andre Ward said that he thinks this kid could be an all-time great, and coming from Andre Ward, that is a terrific compliment. But he was asked for his insight on the Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia fight, and specifically what he was asked is what he thought about the rehydration clause that is in the terms for that fight. And Shakur Stevenson, I gotta say, I really did agree with his take. And pretty much what he said about the fight and the rehydration clause was this. He said, well, look, that's a really big fight. He doesn't think it is the best fight, right? And he says, man, that Gervonta Davis is, a top fighter. And he just doesn't really believe that about Ryan Garcia. But he says that, look, man, but it is a very big fight for money. So he says from his standpoint, it's a big money fight. And he was asked, what would he do? Or if he could fight somebody, what route would he do? And he would say, well, but for me, I'm kind of stuck in between the legacy side of myself and the monies and the businessman side of myself, right? Which says, hey, man, if I could pick a fight, the money is over there with Gervonta, right? And the Ryan and all of that. But if I'm going for the legacy side and accomplish and proving I'm the best, the guy with all the belts is Devin Haney. So, I'll go that way. But as far as the rehydration clause, what he said was like, look, man, Ryan sounds like he's building in an excuse for when he loses. Talking about, why'd you drain me? Why did you, talking about the rehydration clauses and all of that. He said, look, man, when that is what you agreed to. If you sat down and you talked to somebody and said, okay, man, I'll fight you under these circumstances. You say, okay, I want to fight at 140. The other guy says, no, man, I want to fight at 135. You guys agree. You say, okay, no, how about 138? And then Gervonta comes back and says, no, what about 136? And then you agree upon 136. That's the deal. You agreed to the deal. You're getting paid a lot of money to fight and at a weight class and you know, with the weight limit that you agreed to. So the fact that you would then go out and complain and talk to everybody and about it, it seems like you're building in an excuse ahead of time for when you lose. And I can't tell you, man, I agree 100% about that. There are a lot of people that agree to things that, you know, where it's a compromise in order to make the fight. You can say, obviously, Ryan Garcia did not feel comfortable fighting Gervonta Davis at the weight class Gervonta Davis was fighting in. And he wants to be able to weigh more than the limit. And Gervonta obviously feels uncomfortable with him weighing, you know, way up above the limit, or the rehydration clause, right? Which is the 100 getting up to 146, right? Now, the funny thing is that Ryan Garcia just kind of vacillates and says on one side, he's like, oh, I'm almost at weight. This is no problem. And then a couple days later, he's, oh, man, this really sucks. This really sucks making weight. And, you know, I think they should be at their 30-day weigh-in tomorrow because it's the 22nd 30-day weigh-in will be today's March 21st. So the 30-day weigh-in is tomorrow. So, you know, but he's complaining and telling people outwardly how hard it is for him to make weight there. Right. But at the same time, man, everybody in boxing is going through that. So is that a built-in excuse for you to lose? Yes, it is, because he already has a lot of his fan base complaining about it and putting it in pretty much every comment and every video that comes out or every tweet that comes out about the fight. There's somebody that is a supporter of Gervonta Davis, of Ryan Garcia, coming in and saying, look, man, this is unfair. Gervonta, obviously, he's trying to get the better. He's not being a man about it, or he would fight Ryan Garcia whatever weight he wants, right? So, you know, obviously that is what he's doing. Now, is that his admission that he's going to lose or not? I'm not going to say that 100%, because Ryan Garcia is one of these, you know, he built himself up off social media. Right. And pretty much putting everything that he does out there. Right. Like on Twitter, this, you know, putting meals out. There's different ways that you grow your Twitter channel. So you put or Twitter page. I think it's a Twitter page. So like everything that you do, you put on Twitter. If you go to a restaurant and you take a picture of the food, you put it on Twitter, and everybody can comment about the food that you're eating, right? As a way to engage people. And that's the way Ryan Garcia grew himself and was able to market himself, you know, to the point that he's at right now. And hey, man, it has obviously worked for him. So he may consider this just, you know, one more part of, let me share everything in the world that has taken place with me. And so, you know, because of the social media etiquette that we now live with, that it's fair game, right? Just like telling people what's happening in sparring is now fair game, and telling people, you know, what purse splits you got, and, you know, what your guarantee was, and all of that stuff is all now, you know, out there, and something to be shared in this, you know, in this environment where you get fed information about a person 24 hours a day, right? So I'm not saying it is a full-fledged admission of it, but God dog, it definitely for sure builds in an excuse for this man in that fight. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in that comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.